Going live, okay. Looks like we got the horizontal one live. Now let's see if we can get them. That's recording. I've got my horizontal one live. Now I'm trying to figure out if I can get my vertical one live. Okay. Looks like they're both live, hopefully. What I'm showing you is I got a YouTube short that's really hot out of the gate. Now you won't be able to see the typical results. You see this dark gray? That is my typical results. So it usually takes like 4 hours, like 5 or 6 hours to get to 600 views. And I'm at 2 hours and 29 minutes, I've already got 1,275 views. Now, if you're a big time YouTuber, you're going to think those numbers are pretty small. But if you're a small fishing channel like me, you're going to think this is awesome. I think I have both of my screens going now. You should be able to see me on the phone in the shorts feed and the vertical live, and you should be able to see me on my regular channel in the horizontal where the regular live videos are. Get myself scheduled centered in this camera a little better. So in about 2.5 hours, I'm already at almost 1,400 videos, almost 1,400 views. $13.91, and see, that's 1,400 more than normal at this time. Let's see if I got the But if you see on this gray, what it'll do, it's like YouTube algorithm thinks about it for about 3 hours, then it shows it to a few people, then it thinks about it some more, then it shows it to a few more people, then it thinks about it some more, and it may be quite a long time before it shows it to any more people. I had one YouTube short that hit 20,000 views, and I got to looking at the analytics, and I thought, I think I can make that better. So I deleted it and did a little editing to put it back up, and then it only got 10,000 views. So my new theory is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. See, it looks like it may be flattening out here a little bit. If you look at this curve, it shot straight up. But it might be YouTube is just the algorithm is gonna think about it a little bit, and then it'll either take off or flatline, depending on how the algorithm feels about it. Basically, how the viewers respond. See here in engagement, 67.4% stayed to watch, and 32.6% swiped away. And the average view duration is 21 seconds. And it's a 28-second video. Oh, my in-laws went to Las Vegas and all I got was this coffee mug. It's a pretty nice coffee mug. Come on, algorithm. You can do it, baby. Sounds like I got a little background noise. Sounds like I got a little background noise. This desktop mic doesn't have a very good noise cancellation. Sounds like I got a little background noise. I was trying to monitor it on a separate phone and I'm thinking maybe that's feedback. I think that's interfering with the mic, so I'm going to turn that other phone off. Oh, I bet this is a fan on this computer. That's my background noise. I got the computer right here by the microphone. So I'm gonna have to move that somewhere. I could put up a little piece of foam or something, like that foam insulation, to block that sound off. Let's see where we're at now. $1,415. I think I can move this over if you're watching. Right here. Now you should be able to see it on the vertical. But see, the blue line is what this video is doing, and the gray is what's typically what usually happens. So see, it usually takes me about 12 hours to hit 1,200 views, and in 3 hours I'm already at 1,415. So see, it's shot up, it's flattening out, but that happens a lot. It's like the algorithm's got to think about it. It'll show it to some people, and then it'll analyze it and see how well they like it. And if they like it pretty good, it'll show it to some more people, and then it'll stop and see how they like it. But as you can tell, most of mine never hit 2,000 views, which in the world of shorts is nothing. But in my world, a small YouTube fishing channel, that's doing pretty good. Yeah. We'll flip back over here and I'll show you. Right here is my best one so far about the rocks blowing up. If you put wet rocks on, try to cook on wet rocks in a campfire, that got 10,248 views. But that's the one that when I first put it up, it got 20,000 views. But I thought I could fix it, so I deleted that 20,000 view and edited it, put it back up, and it only got 10,000 after I fixed it. So I'm thinking my new rule should be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now this one coming out Saturday about the blobfish, I have high expectations for it. But this is the one we're watching right now.
This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola, is huge, flat, and drifts like a pancake in the sea. But don't be fooled, it can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. It eats jellyfish, so it's basically the ocean's cleanup crew. Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats, and sea lions bully it. Poor guy can't catch a break. If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop. This fish looks like it's just given up on life.
I'm gonna move it over where the short speed
also known as
vertical
the mola
can see it.
mola. It's huge, flat, and drifts like a pancake in the sea. But don't be fooled, it can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. It eats jellyfish, so it's basically the ocean's cleanup crew. Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats, and sea lions bully it. Poor guy can't catch a break. If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop. This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish.
Okay, back to analytics. And slide it back over. $747 views in the last 60 minutes. 1423 in the last 48. But as you can see, it's starting to flatline now. So hopefully the algorithm is just pondering on it a minute, and it's going to be like these others and take back off. But this is kind of a behind the scenes look at a small fishing channel. I've started live streaming my fishing, and that actually been going pretty well. And see this blue dot up here? Every time it blinks, that's an update. And if I get some views, this number will change. Yep, see I got 1 that time. So that's slowed down considerable. But like I say, compared to a lot of my other shorts, 1400 is actually pretty good. See, this number was jumping up every time it updated. It was jumping up 5, 10, 15. And now it's only jumping up 1 at a time. But I'd just like to have 1 viral video. I just think I would really, really like to have 1 viral short. Well, we got 2 that time when it updated. I keep refreshing this page because I want to look at the blue line. I want to keep an updated look at the blue line. See, it's definitely flattening out. But that by no means indicates it's dead. The one that made 20,000, it didn't do very good the first day, but then the second day, for some reason, it took off like a shot. See it. Someplace here I can put stats up. Well, that's not the stats that I want though. That's all about the stream, and I have no idea what any of that means. I want the one that shows how many people are watching. Okay, this is the one. This is the stats for the horizontal feed. And this is the one. And see, I have no idea what that. I don't know how to do these keyframe things. I'm just learning this live chat, this live streaming, and learning this software. And I don't know how to change the keyframes. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I wonder if that's over here in the streaming software settings. I don't see anything that says keyframes. This is making me crazy. Well, but we're getting more views while we're piddling around with the software. Almost 1,500 views now. Move this over. I wish I understood this streaming software better. Let me pull this over here so you can see. This is what the streaming software looks like. This is what I see behind the scenes. It is like super complicated. It's called OBS Studio. It's free software. And I think it works pretty good. If you can get the thing to work. If you learn how to use it. Oh, we didn't get any new views that time. That time it blinked here, it updated. Oh, now we just got 3. I'm going to slide this over again so the vertical people can see what I'm talking about when I say, see, this blue line is the performance of this video. This blue line right here, and this gray is what typically happens. Like in the first 8 hours, I usually get between 70 and 1,100 views. It takes me like 18 hours to get to about 1,800. But if you look here on this gray, it'll show it to some people, then it flattens out, and then it'll show it to some more people. And then it'll flatten out, and it'll show it to some more people. Flatten out, and depending on how well the people like the short is whether it shows it to any more. When it gets to the point where it's shown it to a broad enough audience that a major portion of them is no longer interested, then it flatlines and it dies. $1,490. Well, jumped up 4 that time. $14.94. Maybe YouTube's gonna show me some love. Come on, algorithm. But anytime you're outdoing your typical performance by that much, you gotta be happy. Didn't get any more views that update. See, every time this blue dot here blinks, whoop, now we got 3. Didn't get any last time, but now we got 3 this time. I'm going to turn this incognito. Looks like I have 3 watching. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to move that microphone away from the fan. I got my hand over the back of the fan. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to move that microphone away from the fan. I got my hand over the back watching. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to move that microphone away from the fan. Okay. I'll have to shut that other phone down because it's interfering and it's making the background noise even worse. Oh, we jumped up over 1,500 while I was piddling with the microphone. Maybe it's like the old saying, a watch pot never boils. Because it was really shooting up before I started the live stream. And once I started the live stream and started watching it, see, it's slowed down. But that's kind of typical. It kind of matches this curve here. I'll show you the short that we're talking about. This is the one that...
This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola. It's huge, flat, and drifts like a pancake in the sea. But don't be fooled, can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. It eats jellyfish, so it's basically the ocean's cleanup crew. Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats and sea lions bully it. Poor guy can't catch a break. If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop. This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola. It's huge, flat, and drifts like a pancake in the sea. But don't be fooled, can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. It eats jellyfish, so it's basically the ocean's cleanup crew. Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats and sea lions bully it. Poor guy can't catch a break. If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop. This fish looks like it's just...
Okay, slide this back over. $1,513. But see, YouTube's telling me great job. Views are 8.9 times higher than my other shorts. And let's see the engagement. $68 stayed to watch. 31.8% swiped away. That's better than it was. It was at like 66 and almost 40. Or 63 and almost 40. Like 63 and what, 37? Like 100%. So the engagement is actually doing better. But out of 1,500 views, 787 stayed long enough for me to get paid. They got to stay 4 seconds in order for it to count towards getting paid. YouTube only counted the ones that were engaged views that stayed long enough for you to qualify for getting paid. But now they have views and then they have engaged views. So every time somebody's swiping up through the shorts and this video starts to play, that counts as a view, but it only counts for getting paid if they stay 4 seconds. So about half of them are staying for the 4 seconds. And shorts is not about the money. 1,000 views on shorts will pay somewhere between 1,000 of them engaged views will pay somewhere between 10 and 15 cents. I'll show you. Here's my very best short to date. They got 10,000 views, 6,000 engaged views, and it made $1.53 inside this where. See, 10,300 views. About 6,000 was engaged views, and it paid me $1.53. But it gained me 1 subscriber. See, so this one's had 1,524 views. But it hasn't gained me any subscribers yet. You would have to get like millions of views on a short to ever make any money. I basically do them just to be doing. I'm trying to get a viral video. I'd really like to have 1 viral video. Of course, you could make a case that this one is viral for me because it's outstripping the rest of them. It's beating my average by a pretty significant amount. If you look at the blue line, which is this video, compared to the gray line, which is my typical performance, this one is a rock star. But I definitely don't have these shorts figured out yet, because I'll see something and it'll have 1 million views and I cannot for the life of me figure out why. But part of that's because I'm an old man. I just turned 64 in March. And I think a large number of the short viewers are significantly younger than me. But even if I could figure out how to make a viral video, if it's not on the same topic, I mean, I have a fishing channel, so if I make one, say I get a good video of somebody falling down the stairs or whatever that's not fishing related, and I get a whole bunch of subscribers but they have no interest in fishing, it kind of actually shoots me in the foot, because I'll put a video out and the algorithm will say, wait, this dude's got all these subscribers, but only like a third or a half of them actually watch his videos, so he must not be very good. So we're not going to show his videos to very many people. So you want to try to get subscribers that actually want to watch your videos. So that's why this one is about a fish in the ocean. So try to keep my shorts outdoor related. Either about a fish or an animal or something about camping or because I really only want subscribers that are actually want to watch my stuff. Well, the blue line hasn't gone completely flat. Let's check the engagement again. 68.9% stayed to watch, 31.1% swiped away. Now it's my understanding if you want to get a viral video, you gotta have about 80 or 85% stay to watch. And let's see what the average view duration is. 21 seconds of a 28-second video. And see, that's really got to be higher than that. That needs to be as close to 100% as you can get. But you can see this bar chart. This one is the last 60 minutes. And then I switch it to 48 hours. So it went live at 4. So between 5 and 6, it got 637 views. Between 6 and 7, it got 722 views. And between 7 and 8, it's only got 129 views. But that's not the big question. The big question is, is YouTube going to take off again? And I have no way of knowing. See, if it matches the typical results, here in just a few minutes, let's see, this is 3 hours and 32 minutes. So here in another 15 minutes or so, here in another 30 minutes, it ought to take right off. So the question is it going to take off or is it going to flatline on me? See, I find all this stuff incredibly interesting. The hard part, and I'm going to slide it over here so you can see it, slide it over on the other monitor. This is the streaming software. Let's see if I can move this. No. Docs. There, we'll move the chat out of the way. But see, this is the horizontal feed here. And this is the vertical feed. So I'm streaming to two places. You can find me on my regular channel with horizontal, and you would be seeing what this screen here is. But if you're on the shorts feed or the live vertical feed, then you're seeing this little section of a screen. And that's why I keep sliding it over. If you're wondering if you're watching on the vertical or on the horizontal and you wonder why I keep sliding the screen over, that's to get it to go over so the people on the vertical can see. Can see like the blue line and the other stats. The number's still ticking up. See, I didn't get one that time it updated. I didn't get a view. See this blue dot, every now and then it blinks, there it goes. I think it actually went down, but that's probably, it probably counted when I showed you the video a couple times, and then it realized that they were not unique views, and it probably took them back away from me. Which is okay, because YouTube don't want people just running it where nobody else is seeing it without ads. There's actually been a few people got their channel deleted or demonetized because they was using, there's some software that you can get that'll display. What they was doing was opening up incognito windows and watching and letting their playlist play for hours. And getting, that's how they were getting their watch time. In order to be monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time in a 365-day period. And see, I was able to achieve that. I'm monetized, but I've really been struggling keeping up to 4,000 hours. That's why I've kind of started live streaming. I've been live streaming while I'm fishing. And so far, that seems to be the most popular thing I've done. I've been streaming to the, I've been streaming vertical off my phone because I haven't quite figured out how to get this software. I haven't figured out how to get this software to work out in the field. I've taken a laptop with me fishing a couple of times, but every time I try to use the horizontal feed, it either doesn't recognize the camera or something. But what I really want to be able to do is to use an infrared camera and live stream after dark, like catfishing and walleye fishing. Live streaming during the day is pretty easy. You just basically put your phone up on a tripod, get you a halfway decent wireless microphone, push the button, and you're live. But trying to do it well, doing it is easy, but trying to do it well is really quite difficult. Yeah, it's definitely flatlining. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. She's only got 191 views in the last 60 minutes. And it was getting 600 and 700 views an hour. Let's slide this over just a little bit so the vertical people can see. You see the first hour, it got 626, which is quite unusual because typically I don't get any for a couple hours. That's what got me really excited, thinking maybe it was going to take off. Then the second hour, it got 771. Now, so far this hour, it's only got 143. We got 15 minutes left to go. It's 7:45. We have 15 minutes left in this hour. But see, this blue line is this video. If this matches the gray as my typical results, so if it matches this typical results, here in a minute, this thing could really take off. But then, of course, most of them flatline. See here at 1800. See the gray right there? That's generally where they stop. After a couple days, they're usually done. A lot of times they die a lot sooner than that. There for a long time. I'd post a short, and just whatever it got that evening was all it ever got. That's kind of changing. The more shorts I do and the better they do, it seems like the better results I'm getting. Let's tell you, this YouTubing is hard. It's incredibly interesting. I'm surprised how well I'm enjoying live streaming on site while I'm fishing. Because I've always gone fishing by myself. But when I'm live streaming, I got some people in the chat and it's like I got company or something. Which is weird because they're not actually there, but they're watching, they're around. I find myself liking that quite a lot. And YouTube saves them. Like you can go to my channel and click on live, and you can rewatch all the live streams. But that don't seem to happen very much. It seems like mostly all the views and everything that happens while it's live. The last live stream I had 39 people at one time. That was the most I had at one time, and that was a new record. Previously I had 23 people all watching at the same time. I set an auspicious goal for myself with live streaming. I decided the other day it would be really cool if I could get one more person watching my live stream at the same time than what they can fit in the KFC Yum Center in Louisville. When it's set up for a U of L basketball game, the KFC Yum Center will seat 22,090 people. So I want to have a fishing live stream with 22,091 people watching at the same time. That would basically mean I sold out the KFC Yum Center. That'd be quite remarkable in my world. I doubt if it ever happens. I'd have to get a whole lot. But the funny thing is, I can make it happen. I just have to get a whole lot better. If I would get like really good and actually learn how to work this software, there's no limit what you could do. Especially if you just get lucky and you happen to be live streaming fishing and something happened that people started searching fishing and look, something happened in the real world that caused people to get interested in fishing. I was researching it about like what's the most people ever watching a live stream, and it's like 8 or 10 million. The video game Fortnite was having some kind of big super tournament, and it was big enough that it crashed their server. So everybody switched over and watched a live stream of somebody that was already in. The server wouldn't accept any more viewers, so they couldn't watch it on the Fortnite server, they had to switch to a live stream if they wanted to watch it. And there was one guy there, and I think he ended up with either 8 or 10 million people watching his live stream all at the same time. But see, he'd have never hit that number if the Fortnite server hadn't overloaded. And then there's a live stream that does the World Cup of Soccer, and that gets millions and millions of concurrent viewers. And I think some of the Formula One races are live streamed, and they get a lot of viewers. But for a 64-year-old fat bald man fishing, 22,091 viewers at the same time, that would be pretty amazing. Let's refresh this, see what the blue line looks like. Yeah, we've only had 194 views in the last 60 minutes. We're at 178 in this hour with 7 more minutes left. So this hour is going to be, let me slide this over so the vertical people can see it. This hour is going to be much less than the first 2 hours. The video went live at 4. And I think I started this live stream I started trying to get it to work at 6, but it was like 7 before I actually got it doing what I wanted it to. Here we go. Well, that took a decent jump from the last, because it was like, what, 175, and now it jumped up to 193. 1581. 1,581 views in the last 48 hours. Yeah, this definitely qualifies as viral for me. Well, we haven't got any views the last 2 or 3 updates. There we go, we got 1 that time. Few more views. 1,583. fired up the other phone so I could monitor what's going on. But I turned the volume down so I don't get feedback through the microphone. See, the microphone is right here. It won't quite stretch far enough for the camera to see it. But when I had this volume turned up on this phone earlier, man, when that computer fan kicks in, I had terrible background noise. Can't really tell if I still got it. Yep. You can still hear the computer fan running. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get more coffee. Well, we picked up 3 on that update. So, first hours, well, went live at 4, but it didn't get enough views at the first hour to actually register here on this thing. See, like 4 to 5, it got 12 views. Then 5 to 6, it got 618 views. 6 to 7, it got 667 views. Last hour, it got 192 views. And so far this hour, 8 to 9, it got 8 views. I wonder if somehow I managed to change the settings on this microphone, because I never did hear that computer fan before. Somehow I managed to change the settings on this microphone, because I never did hear that computer fan before. Somehow I managed to change the settings on this microphone. Yeah. I better check that text because my nephew just got married today in Asheville, North Carolina. I've not met the blushing bride yet, but she is a really pretty girl. She's from the Bahamas. And naturally, I'm going to try to figure out if I can go to the Bahamas and stay for free. As you may or may not know, I'm a semi-retired real estate broker. I've been selling houses. December will be 36 years. And I'll tell you, people are funny critters. I've got a bank repo house listed over in New Albany, 3139 Hibiscus Court. It's in Kohler Place subdivision. The average house in there is over 300,000. Right at 3, a little over 3. Now this house needs quite a bit of work, but it's only listed at $209,900. So you've got a solid $100,000 worth of. You could put $100,000 in it and have basically a brand new house in a location that seems to be quite popular based on feedback from buyers. You notice I didn't say good location or bad location because that's subjective. My idea, like I could have a house in the most popular subdivision on the planet, the most highly sought after, but if it was next door to somebody you hated, you would consider that to be a bad location. 90+% of the world might think that's a good location, but if it's next door to somebody that you really, really hate, you would consider that to be a bad location. So you can't really say good location or bad location because that's a matter of opinion. So I base everything on price per square foot. And that's a solid market number data that I can justify that's objective. Places that sell for a higher price per square foot are in more demand and have more competition than places that sell for less per square foot. So when I talk about location, I never say good or bad. I just talk about how it compares in price per square foot to other locations. In this location, Kohler Place, it does quite well in price per square foot. Let's refresh this and see what the blue line's doing. Slide this over so both feeds, vertical and the horizontal, can see. See, it hasn't flatlined. It's slowed down considerable. But if you look right here, typically my other shorts in this amount of time, I would have only had between 10 and 220 views. And now it actually just clicked up 1609. See, just like good and bad locations, viral is very subjective too. My idea of a viral video and somebody else's idea of a viral video, quite different. See, if you look and see how this blue line of this video compares to see how this blue line of this video compares to my typical results, I think I can call this one viral for me, for sure. Now the 50-cent question is it going to follow this trend? See this gray right here? How it typically bumps up and then flattens out. But see, it's flat in the typical, it's about the same amount of flatness and about the same length of time for flatness before it takes off again. So it's highly possible this thing will take off in a minute. I say a minute, might be another hour or two. I think I've been streaming about an hour and a half. That is the one that's not this. The vertical feed has been going an hour and 27 minutes. And the horizontal feed has been going an hour and 28 minutes. Let's see, in the horizontal feed, I've only had one viewer, but somebody stuck around for. I had two people viewed, but somebody stuck around for 5 or 6 minutes. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And this is the short feed. We've had 83 views in it. But looks like only one viewer at a time. Now maybe 10. Looks like we had 10 people at one time. Spam risk. Good luck getting me to answer that one. So we're at 1610. No, there's two more. I was going to say we didn't get any more views while we was messing around looking to see how many viewers we had. But we picked up two more. We're 1612. Let's go look at the engagement again. I see the engagement's getting slightly better. 69% stayed to watch. 31% swiped away, and before that was like 67 something, and then it was like 68 something. Average view duration is still 21 seconds. But see, it's got me 5.3 watch hours, which is 4.3 more than usual. Of course, the problem with shorts, the watch time doesn't count towards monetization. If you want to monetize with shorts, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 10 million shorts views in 90 days. Now, obviously, if I'm here all excited about having 1,600 views in 4 hours, the odds of me ever getting 10 million views in 90 days is pretty slim. But the watch time on the live feed that's in the shorts feed or the vertical live feed stream, those watch hours actually count towards monetization. So if you got a small channel and you've pretty much got your subscribers but you're having trouble with your watch time, take a serious consideration about live streaming. Because that may be something that puts you over the top. I'll go show you real quick. See, I picked up, let's see. This is from Green River Tailwaters the other day. I live streamed for almost 5 hours while I was fishing. And see, this is the watch time since it's saved as a video on YouTube. That's not the watch time from the someplace in here I can look and see. And I don't know where. I'm still learning all about this live streaming. But I don't think this, yeah, total watch time since the video was published. See, it's live, and then after you stop the stream, YouTube processes it as a video. And this is the stats since it's oh well, I'm talking about stuff I don't really understand yet, that I'm still learning. Looks like it's flatlined on me. Yeah, 619. We got a few while we went down the rabbit hole about live streaming. See, there's the blue line for the people in the vertical. Blue, dark blue is this video. The shaded gray is typical stuff. What typically happens. So compared to my typical performance, this little short's doing quite well. See, there's no way of knowing is the thing going to take back off, or is it just going to grind out 2 or 3 views an hour, or 2 or 3 views every few minutes until it eventually flatlines and dies. But see, you never can really tell, because just because it flatlines now, that don't mean sometime in the future it won't take off again. I have 50 shorts that's the top 5 lakes in each of the 50 states. And I put them out there, and they would get 500 views, 200 views, 600 views, and then they flatlined and they died. But this spring, and I guess it's because of YouTube search, 3 or 4 of those have got like a brand new life. They're getting views and they're getting comments and likes. Let's see. Shorts. And let me sort by views here. See, this is my best one so far, free bait at the beach. It's got 10,185 views. But see, this top 5 lakes in Ohio, 7,924 views. See, it's got 139 views in the last 48 hours. And if you look, it's been published 588 days. So it jumped out there to what? Took it quite a while. Let's see. Well, it did pretty good its first day. It got 2,700 its first day. But see, then it did basically nothing for almost a year. And now here in the last year, 170, the last 30 days or so, it's picked up like 3,000 views. So just because they flatline, that don't mean they're dead. Let me slide this back over so the vertical people can see what I'm talking about. But see, 588 days, and in about 500 days, it got a second wind. And that has got me 17 subscribers. Okay, let's resort this. But it's going to take somebody a whole lot smarter than me to figure this out. But anyways, talking about that house over there in New Albany. It needs a lot of work. And people will go look at that house and no way they'll buy it. But then a flipper will buy it, spend about 50 or 60,000 on it, and somebody will come pay 100,000 more for it and be tickled to death because it's got shiny new paint and shiny new cabinets. But instead of keeping that $40,000 or $50,000 in their pocket, they'll pay that to a flipper just so they don't have to be bothered with it. And I don't know about you, but it takes me a really long time to earn $40,000. So if it was me, I would be wanting to buy it before the flipper got a hold of it. I'd want to keep that $40,000 in my pocket. But I'm starting to be an old man anymore. I can tell my brain is starting to work like an old man's brain works. I'm getting my overhead down low where I can draw my Social Security and piddle around a little bit, make me a little side money. Have more time for fishing and more time for YouTubing. It's still grinding out views. That background noise is really bugging me. This is a halfway decent mic, not a high dollar mic. So it's highly possible I can go in there and turn up the noise canceling. It's a USB microphone, so it should have some settings somewhere. $1,650. Views are 5 times higher than your other shorts, and viewers watch longer. $16.53. I mean, it's still grinding out views. But it's about 8:30. It's time for old people to go to bed. I'm gonna keep doing this. Every time I get a short, that looks like it's going to take off, I'm probably going to do a live stream, because I would really like to share with you. If I ever hit the bingo and get a truly viral video, I want to share it with my viewers. If you check back on my channel in a day or two, this one is called The Saddest Fish in the Ocean.
This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola.
I'm going to play it for you one more time.
And drifts like a pancake in the sea. But don't be fooled, can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. It eats jellyfish, so it's basically the ocean's cleanup crew. Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats and sea lions bully it. Poor guy can't catch a break. If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop. This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola. It's huge, flat.
See, here's that last live feed I was telling you about. If you click right here, that's called a related video. This, click right here, it takes you to my channel. You click right here, it takes you to the live stream from
This fish looks like it's just given up on life. Sunfish, also known as the mola mola. It's huge, flat, and drifts like a pancake.
Actually, I think this one is from Gis Creek Lake bank fishing.
Here's the kicker. So slow and awkward, it often gets hit by boats and sea lions bully it.
Let me look real quick.
If a fish could sigh, the sunfish would never stop.
If your neck looks like this,
No, Taylorsville Lake Tailwater is where I was at.
head protrudes forward, and for every inch your head protrudes.
I pushed the wrong button. I think I had the mic turned off. Can you hear me now?
Like I say, these live streams are still pretty rough.
Learn about this live streaming.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's painful. Ground out a few more views while we was doing that. But anyways, before I got sidetracked, check back on my channel in a couple of days. The Saddest Fish in the Ocean. Let's see how well it did. Be interesting to see if it just flatlines here or if it takes back off. Okay, thank you very much for watching. One of these days we'll make a viral short to share with you. But I'm going to shut her down.